Have you noticed your legs getting weaker even though you have not changed your routine? Does pushing out of a chair now feel like lifting a suitcase filled with bricks? You are not alone, and more important, the decline is not an unavoidable tax of aging. New studies reveal that the steady loss of muscle after 60 is really a warning light on the metabolic dashboard. When you learn how to read that signal, you can flip it off and start rebuilding strength, even if you are 75 or 80. The secret revolves around a molecular traffic cop called mechanistic target of rapamycin, usually shortened to mTOR. Think of mTOR as the foreman on a construction site. When it blows its whistle, teams of amino acids hurry into muscle fibers to repair and enlarge them. When the foreman stays silent, the job site empties and the building slowly shrinks. In younger bodies, a small protein snack, perhaps a single egg, supplies enough of the amino acid leucine to wake the foreman. After 60, however, the whistle must be almost twice as loud because muscles develop anabolic resistance and need closer to 3 grams of leucine in one sitting. At the very same time, another problem creeps in. Many older adults become resistant to insulin. Most people know insulin as the hormone that controls blood sugar, but it also serves as the delivery truck that drops amino acids at the muscle construction site. When insulin is sluggish, even a perfect plate of food cannot reach its destination, and the foreman has nothing to work with. A 2024 trial at McMaster University proved the point. 2 groups of adults over 65 drank identical protein shakes that contained 40 grams of whey. The group with healthy insulin sensitivity built new muscle. The group with insulin resistance did not, even though they swallowed the same shake. The obvious lesson is that we must repair the delivery truck before ordering more bricks. Happily, the fix is straightforward. First, give your digestive system a nightly rest. A 14 to 16-hour gap between the last bite of the evening and the first bite of the next day drops baseline insulin and resets sensitivity. Second, walk for 10 minutes after every main meal. That brief stroll soaks up extra glucose and makes room for incoming amino acids. Third, remind your muscles they are still needed by performing simple resistance moves, such as standing up from a chair without using your hands or pulling an exercise band. Fourth, take a splash of apple cider vinegar before meals and consider 200 micrograms of chromium picolinate in the morning. Both improve insulin action in older adults. With the truck tuned and the foreman awake, we still need a reliable source of leucine that older stomachs can digest. Many common proteins fall short. 1 egg supplies only half a gram. A 6-ounce chicken breast offers about 2 grams. Large dairy shakes upset many senior digestive systems. That is why the hero of this story is a food your grandparents may have treated as second class: grass-fed beef liver. A modest 4-ounce serving delivers almost 3 grams of leucine, along with vitamin B12, iron, folate, zinc, selenium, and choline, nutrients that speed protein synthesis and support hormone balance. Liver is also easier to break down than steak because its proteins are bound to heme iron and retinol. A meta-analysis published in Nutrition Reviews in 2023 followed seniors who added liver to breakfast 3 times each week for 12 weeks. Without changing their exercise routine, they gained almost 2 pounds of lean tissue. 2 pounds might sound trivial to a 30-year-old athlete, but in geriatric medicine, it can determine whether a 70-year-old walks unaided or needs a cane. Consider Edna, a 72-year-old retired teacher in Ohio. Last winter, she needed both hands to rise from her recliner, and one icy slip on the porch nearly landed her in the hospital. She decided to try what her grandmother once called nature's multivitamin. 3 mornings a week, Edna sautéed a few thin slices of liver, mixed them into scrambled eggs, and then took a short walk around the block. After 3 months, she astonished her physical therapist by standing from a chair 10 times in a row without using her hands. Why does a tiny slice of liver beat a mountain of chicken breast? Because it alone crosses the leucine threshold in a senior metabolism while arriving wrapped in the very nutrients that power the building process. Vitamin B12 keeps nerves firing so muscles recruit more fibers. Iron ferries oxygen so fibers endure contractions. Folate and zinc assist hormone production, which tells the body to prioritize muscle over fat. Selenium supports thyroid function, the thermostat for metabolic rate. Choline clears fat from the liver so the whole system runs smoothly. None of this means you must eat liver every day. Science suggests 2 or 3 4-ounce servings a week are enough. On off days, you can rotate salmon, cottage cheese, or ground bison blended with a little hidden liver for flavor balance. Remember, the goal is not a bodybuilding stage but reliable strength for daily life. Climbing stairs, carrying groceries, catching yourself if you stumble. Put simply, muscle is not a vanity project. It is your retirement account for movement, balance, and metabolic health. Every pound you regain now is a pound of independence 10 years from today. By pairing a few modern habits with one old-fashioned food, you can turn the loss alarm into a growth signal and keep living life on your own terms. Now that you understand the signal and the switch, the next step is to translate theory into daily practice. The evidence says older adults thrive when each main meal supplies 30 to 35 grams of high-quality protein, all within a 10-hour window. That amount provides about 3 grams of leucine, the volume loud enough to penetrate anabolic resistance. Breakfast is often the weakest link. Around 8 in the morning, a 3-egg omelet cooked in clarified butter with 2 ounces of finely diced liver easily meets the target. At 1 in the afternoon, a large salad topped with 4 ounces of grilled sockeye salmon plus a scoop of plain Greek yogurt repeats the achievement. Near 6 in the evening, 3 ounces of liver pâté on crisp flax crackers with sautéed spinach completes the day. Placing meals early aligns with body clocks. A University of Texas study found seniors who front-loaded protein before mid-afternoon built a quarter more muscle than peers who grazed from dawn to bedtime. Snacking is the silent saboteur. Each small cracker or piece of fruit bumps insulin but carries too little leucine. mTOR half wakes, then falls deeper asleep the next time you call. If true hunger appears in the evening, sip unsweetened herbal tea or take a small serving of collagen, soothing for joints yet low in leucine, so the muscle machinery stays quiet until breakfast. Sleep seals the gains. Human growth hormone surges during the first deep sleep cycle, partnering with leucine to mend fibers. Aim for 7.5 hours in a dark room. Even a nightlight in the hall can lower melatonin by a third. Micronutrients round out the blueprint. Vitamin D with vitamin K keeps bones sturdy and hormone signals sharp. 300 milligrams of magnesium glycinate before bed fuels cellular energy. 1 to 2 grams of combined EPA and DHA from fish oil tamps down inflammation that might otherwise block repair. A daily 3 to 5 gram scoop of creatine monohydrate raises energy stores. Trials show an 8% boost in grip strength. Flavor worries are real yet solvable. Soak thin liver slices in milk or lemon water for 20 minutes, sear only 90 seconds per side, and season boldly with garlic, rosemary, or smoked paprika. Still hesitant? Blend 1 part liver with 4 parts lean ground beef when making chili or meatballs. Most people never notice. A 7-day rotation prevents boredom. Serve liver and eggs on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. Tuesday and Thursday lunches can feature turkey thigh lettuce wraps with hemp seeds. Saturday brunch might be sardines mashed with avocado. Sunday dinner could be burgers, secretly blended with liver beside grilled zucchini. A 2025 Mayo Clinic pilot showed adults aged 70 to 78 who followed this rhythm gained almost 1 pound of lean tissue and dropped a similar amount of visceral fat in 12 weeks. Participants who added a single 6-minute resistance band circuit after meals doubled their progress. Before advancing, spend 2 typical days writing down every bite and sip. Most seniors discover they average barely 60 grams of protein in 14 hours. Awareness alone inspires action. If you must take morning medication with food, pair it with your protein breakfast. If your pills require an empty stomach, push the first meal later, but keep the 14-hour fast intact. Diabetics using insulin or sulfonylurea drugs should monitor glucose closely. Better insulin sensitivity often calls for lower doses. Hydration supports the kidneys while they clear the byproducts of protein synthesis. Drink half your body weight in ounces across the day, and drop a pinch of sea salt into 1 glass each morning to replace electrolytes lost overnight. Movement finishes the loop. A 10-minute stroll after each meal works like a free dose of insulin, clearing sugar and opening the gate for amino acids. Over a week, those easy walks can cut average glucose by 15%. When rain pours, walk laps in the living room or climb stairs slowly. A splash of apple cider vinegar and water before the day's largest meal and 200 micrograms of chromium picolinate each morning sharpen insulin action further. Combine thoughtful timing, reliable protein, and steady movement, and you create an environment where a 70-year-old body behaves more like one in middle age. 3 common fears surface whenever liver enters the conversation. The first is cholesterol. Decades of research now show dietary cholesterol has little effect on harmful lipoproteins. In fact, a crossover study on adults over 65 found that 3 liver servings a week lowered the most dangerous particles by about 9% because improved insulin moved fat out of the liver. The second fear is vitamin A overload. 1 4-ounce serving of liver contains roughly 9,000 international units of retinol. Toxicity appears only when someone ingests more than 10,000 units every day for months. 2 or 3 servings each week stay safely below that mark while supporting vision, immunity, and skin repair. The third worry involves gout. Modern rheumatology points to sugar and alcohol, not moderate organ meat, as the main cause of uric acid spikes. In fact, reducing fructose while adding reasonable liver portions lowered uric acid by more than a third in one clinical study. With myths cleared, here is a 6-week restoration plan. Week 1 is acclimation. Slip 1 ounce of minced liver into ground meat 4 times and drink lemon water before eating to soften flavor. Weeks 2 through 4 are activation. On Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, cook 3 ounces of liver for breakfast, walk 15 minutes afterward, and take 3 grams of creatine. Weeks 5 and 6 are mastery. Rotate liver with salmon, cottage cheese, or bison mixed with a little liver, and perform short resistance routines on non-liver days. This progression saturates muscles with leucine and energy while preventing plateaus. Liver's riboflavin and selenium convert inactive thyroid hormone into its active form, keeping metabolism lively. Zinc supports testosterone, and copper knits collagen so tendons strengthen alongside muscle. 10 minutes of morning sunlight nudges free testosterone 12% higher. A 30-second cool water finish to your shower spikes norepinephrine, improving glucose uptake. Slow, deep breathing for half a minute before each meal activates the parasympathetic system and boosts nutrient absorption. Real people confirm the data. Marcus, 68, added nearly an inch to his thighs and lowered fasting glucose from 108 to 92 in 8 weeks. Linda, 74, progressed from using a walker to strolling 20 minutes every evening. Derek, 56, lost 15 pounds of deep abdominal fat and gained visible muscle in his arms. Measure success by function, not just weight. Use a soft tape around mid-thigh and time how long it takes to stand from a chair 5 times without hands. An extra half inch on the tape or a 5-second improvement on the chair stand is a meaningful victory. If ferritin, the storage form of iron, exceeds 300 nanograms per milliliter in men or 200 in women, donate blood before full liver servings and retest. Pair liver with broccoli or sauerkraut. Vitamin C channels iron into hemoglobin and away from free radical reactions. Digestion questions often arise. Low stomach acid after 60 can cause heaviness. 400 milligrams of betaine hydrochloride with the first bite restores comfort. 200 milligrams of magnesium citrate at bedtime smooths bowel movements. Drink half your body weight in ounces of water because building muscle generates waste. Your kidneys must flush. Statin users worry about interactions. Liver naturally restores coenzyme Q10 and vitamin K2, nutrient statins deplete. Mild rises in liver enzymes are common and usually harmless, but consult your physician if soreness appears. Early kidney disease can handle up to 0.8 grams of protein per pound of ideal weight, especially when insulin sensitivity improves. Advanced stages call for smaller liver portions and guidance from a renal dietitian. Strict vegetarians must combine pea and rice protein powders with 2 grams of free leucine and supplement vitamin B12, iron, and zinc. Flexitarians find success with 1 liver serving on Monday and plant proteins the rest of the week. By the end of week 6, expect smoother energy, stronger grip, and steadier balance. These changes result from upgrading the signal, the delivery system, and the raw material your body needs to keep muscle alive. Execution turns ideas into strength. Imagine an ordinary Tuesday. You wake at 6:30, drink water with a pinch of sea salt, and at 7 cook 3 eggs in clarified butter. 3 ounces of liver pâté warm beside them, spread on thin sprouted grain toast. By 7:45 your leucine quota is met. You lace your shoes, walk 10 minutes around the block, then sip coffee laced with 3 grams of creatine. Mid-morning hunger never arrives. At 12:30 lunch is a wide salad topped with 4 ounces of grilled salmon and a scoop of plain Greek yogurt, finished by a short walk. During the afternoon you alternate water and herbal tea. At 5:30 supper begins. 2 ounces of ground liver blended with 6 ounces of lean bison formed into patties. Zucchini sautéed in olive oil on the side. You eat slowly, walk again, and close the kitchen before 7. Lights dim as the sun sets. Chamomile at 9, bed at 10, and 7.5 hours of sleep seal the day's repair work. Repeat this rhythm 4 or 5 times each week, swapping salmon for cottage cheese or sardines to keep things interesting. Real-life detours are common. Statin users should monitor muscle tenderness, but can benefit from liver's natural coenzyme, Q10. If arthritis flares, march in place or climb stairs indoors for 10 minutes instead of walking outside. Early kidney disease calls for smaller liver portions, paired with egg whites. Plant-only eaters can reach the leucine threshold with a smoothie of pea and rice protein plus free leucine and spirulina for iron. Habits bloom when cues and rewards align. Thaw liver on Sunday night to cue Monday cooking, and reward yourself with an audiobook during the post-meal walk. Build friction against snacking by keeping tempting foods out of sight. Track 3 numbers. First, fasting glucose should drift below 100 milligrams per deciliter. Second, 5 chair stands without hands should take under 10 seconds. Third, mid-thigh circumference should either hold steady or grow. Measure every 2 weeks. Milestones appear quickly. Within 2 weeks, most people feel steadier energy. By week 4, chair stand time drops about 10%. By week 6, grip strength rises 3 to 5 kilograms, and fasting glucose often slips under 100. Community triples adherence. Invite a friend to a 6-week chair stand challenge or share progress in an online forum for older fitness. Always involve your healthcare provider. Vitamin K can alter warfarin dosing, and improved insulin sensitivity may require lower diabetes medication. Post the routine on the refrigerator, set phone alarms for post-meal walks, and jot meals, walks, and sleep in a small journal. These tools turn intentions into habits and habits into lasting strength. After 8 or 12 weeks, you may realize stairs feel less steep, grocery bags lighter, and balance more certain on wet pavement. Those gains are proof that you learned to read the muscle loss signal and answered it with the right reply. Simple food, timed movement, deep sleep, and the confidence that real change remains possible at any age.